Hey guys, it's lukemick here, and this is my review for After Earth. So After Earth is a movie that I really wasn't excited for. I am not a huge Jaden Smith fan, and it just looked like a poorly written, just CGI shitfest. And that's kind of what it was. I'll get into that in my review. But I'm just going to tell you my history with M. Night Shyamalan, however you say his name first. I haven't seen any of his movies. I know his earlier work is supposed to be really good with The Sixth Sense and Signs. And I would really like to see those movies. But I have seen one of his movies, and I don't know, I know critics hate it, and most audiences, I believe, hate it too. But I think it's funny, and it's The Happening. I'm pretty sure he directed that. I thought that movie was hilarious. I watched it when I was homesick from school in like 6th grade. Mark Wahlberg and Zoe Deschanel. That was funny shit. Yeah, very bad movie, but very bad in a funny way. So let's just get on to the After Earth review. So After Earth is basically about Jaden Smith, who is a kid about my age, 15 or 16, and he wants to kind of be like his father and be an admiral for whatever they do. He's some type of warrior or cadet in the space age. Isn't that, well, so anyways, that's Jaden, Jesus Christ, that's Jaden Smith, and then Will Smith obviously plays his father, who is, like I said, the cadet, and they go on this mission, and they crash land on the planet Earth, and the whole crew is dead. Will Smith is very fatally, a weird word to use, fatally injured, terribly injured, and Jaden Smith has no choice but to go quite a ways through the jungles of Earth to go find the tail of the, Jesus Christ, I cannot talk, the wrecked spaceship, to find the transmitter device or communications device to call for backup. And that's the whole plot setup of the movie. Now, I'm going to say one of the pluses or pros for this movie is that I did like the story. The story was written by Will Smith, and I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the premise that Will Smith would kind of be guiding his son, Jaden Smith, through the woods and through the dangers of Earth's now very different climate and atmosphere, much more different than the way it is now. So I thought it was a pretty cool premise, and I liked the way it started and got set up, but there's so much that drags this movie down. First of all, it's pretty poorly written. Will Smith gives, I think, the best performance he can give here with the script he has. He didn't write it. I believe M. Night Shyamalan wrote it. I might be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. But it's not written very well, and I feel like Will Smith could have done a better job acting if he would have had a better script. He probably gives the best performance here. He really gives one of the only performances, but the writing, it's just pretty shitty. There's a lot of really cheesy lines and cheesy dialogue, especially with other little side characters. It's just a really cheesy movie, and I think that's kind of a theme in the M. Night Shyamalan movies, from The Happening, The Last Airbender. That I only had seen the trailer for The Last Airbender, and it looked like shit then, and cheesy fuckfest. I am swearing in this review. I don't do that a lot, but that's kind of an underlying factor or underlying theme in his films. And Jaden Smith, I don't really like Jaden Smith. He's not that great of an actor, and I just couldn't really get him into this role. He didn't really give much, but then again, the script is so, I think, bad that it must have been hard for him to give a good performance. But yeah, I don't know. And there's some cool little things in this movie that I'll give props to, like there's not a lot of oxygen left on Earth, and Jaden Smith has to bite onto these oxygen tablets to kind of be able to breathe that really and go on with his journey, but he runs out of them. And they just play a big part of the movie. I kind of ruined something a little bit there. And more bad stuff. I've pretty much mentioned everything that's notable. That is the story, and Will Smith does a fine enough job, what he really can do with it. There are some really bad special effects in this movie. The the CGI I think is awful. I'm really picky about my CGI, and if it looks bad, or just the slightest bit bad, I hate it. Like, it really takes me out of the movie. I'm like, he's not actually fighting that tiger right now. That's just a stupid CGI monster, and that's what most of the things look like. There's some alright CGI, but most of it's just total shit. And the green screen backdrops, a lot of them look super fake, and it really pulled me out of the experience. The whole movie seems just really fake, and the pacing's pretty bad. Like I said, I really liked the way the story started, and I liked its premise and what it was trying to do. It just didn't do it well. It seemed like the same things just kept happening over and over again. Jaden Smith would run through the woods, and then he would fall asleep for 10 hours and take a bite of his oxygen tablet, and then you do the same thing. It was like a broken record. He kept doing that over and over again. So I feel like the pacing and everything, it just didn't work well, and it didn't feel like anything was really happening with the movie. It didn't really go anywhere until the end, and even the end isn't really that climactic because we didn't get to know these characters. They are not fleshed out at all, and this is a movie where the chemistry between the lead actors and the sort of importance of the characters, you really needed to care about these characters and you needed to know more about them, but it didn't do a good job fleshing them out and showing you who they really are. There is like one scene where it just sort of cuts to the chase with that, but it doesn't ever give you the time to really get to know and like these characters, and that's why I just don't care about the movie at all. So overall, it's not a very good movie. It has some really bad special effects in my opinion. The performances are alright, but Jaden Smith doesn't do a great job. The writing is bad, and it's got some terrible pacing issues, and it just isn't that exciting. So I'm gonna give the movie 1.5 out of 5 stars for Smith's, Will Smith's, that is, performance and the story of the whole thing. It had a promising premise, but it just wasn't executed well, and I think part of that is from M. Night Shyamalan. And I should mention also that the direction is nothing special. A lot of it is just the camera following Jaden's footsteps, looking at his legs and his back, and just like the really close up here, just like planes crashing. I just didn't like the movie. It wasn't very good. It's just so mediocre, and that's pretty much my review. So this is lukemick, or as I might want to be called now, Luke Mickelson, signing off. Please subscribe. I'm going to the premiere of The Purge on Thursday night and the internship on Friday. So wish me luck with those two films, and I'll talk to you guys later.